we just brought the Mustang Life vests and,
Right.
and the gloves and stuff like that. And which one do you use? Which
I use an
inflatable do you use?
Elite 28. I actually, when I had my accident, the thing that I really learned from that was I actually had a manual on in my accident because
Really?
yeah, I mean, and that
So
goes
I used
back
to wear a lot of those too. I used to
Right.
wear the manual because I'm like, oh no, I got to wear a lighter vest.
And
I
I
guess I'll
always
just wear
thought,
this
I'm
one
like,
because it's
well,
cheap.
I mean, it's inflatable. It looks cool. It's lighter. You know, I'm from Florida. I'm always used to being hot and fishing in the summertime is freaking 100 degrees. So I was like, man, I'll get a manual. And to be honest, when I bought it, I didn't necessarily pay attention. I was just uninformed at that point.
Mhm.
And so that's one thing I've tried to do better is inform people because I know I was in that same situation. But when I had my accident, Connor, my partner, pulled my cord.
Man, that's
Because
quick thinking.
yeah, and I mean it's unreal what he was able to do, and he saved my life because of it. But I mean, from since then, I've spent a ton of time researching life jackets. Mustang had me up, and we shot some video. I got to see their testing facility in Canada and go through how many times each inflatable is
Wow.
tested. And a lot of people think, you know, like, hey, it might not, you know, go off, and that's always the fear I hear.
Yeah.
And the reality is, I trust an Elite 28 because I see how many out of 100 they actually test. Like, there's rigorous tests. It's not like you throw it in a dunk tank and it's got to go off.
Yeah.
It's got to sit there for hours on hours and not even leak in order for it to pass the test in quality control. So they do an incredible job of testing that product. But, you know, it's like anything else, any other manufactured product or anything. Just put what you feel is the best and you're the most confident in on you, and be confident that if something happens, you're 110% prepared. So I wear an Elite 28 because it actually has 1.5 times the amount of buoyancy than foam.
Right,
So
right.
that gives, if I ever get in another survival situation, I know that my head's above water. It's going to upright me. Things like that. I'm just increasing my chances of survival. I pray that never happens ever again.
Yeah,
But I've
absolutely.
been there and done that, and I ain't going back.
I don't think I ever want to be in those shoes for sure. So what's the difference between the two automatics that Mustang carries?
It's basically the way that they go off. One is basically like for lack of better words, a foam. So if you spill a water bottle on it, it's gonna go off.
What
Where
about in the rain, or is that mostly protected by like?
that one's gonna go off pretty much in hard rain because
Okay.
even in humidity, that's gonna go off. That's your lower price pointed automatic, and your hydrostatic is
Yeah, and with
water pressure.
Yeah, with mine, I've always been afraid of that. It's never gone off in the rain.
Right.
The thing that I've always been afraid of with it is that it would do that, and so I've always like I either throw it in a compartment or while I'm fishing in the rain.
Well, see, that's the beauty of a hydrostatic because
Yeah.
you can stand in the pouring down rain; it'll never go off the minute you
Yeah,
jump in.
and
or
that's the
fall
one
in,
I have
you're
now.
good.
Previous models, not a Mustang, but other brands that I've had have gone off, and you know humid conditions and things like that, or you know leaving it in a rain puddle or on accident and things like that. So
Right.
but I've been real happy with it. It's super lightweight, and it's been real good for me the last couple of years. Actually, I got it when we went to Champlain because I was afraid I was going to have to wear that thing all day long.
Right.
And then go to, you know, because you never know what you're getting into there. And the one I had before was really heavy and cumbersome, and I didn't really like, you know, reeling my rod or reeling my rod casting and things like that, pulling fish in. It was just very uncomfortable. And so I on the way up there, I actually stopped at a Bass Pro on the way up and picked it up, and I'm happy I did because I've had it for, you know, what since Champlain 2-3 years ago.
Right.
And it's been great to me ever since. I mean, I haven't had to use it, but
Right.
you know, it hasn't gone off on me, and it's been well worth the investment.
That's why I think hydrostatics are cool though, because like places like Champlain and up north, like that stuff gets rough very quick, so you can wear it all day. And I've gotten in the habit of wearing it
Yeah.
all the time because I'm on the boat by myself a lot of times, and it's just, you know, it's one of those things. If something happens, and
Yeah.
you're prepared at that point.
Well, it's like some of the sayings that are out there, you know. I mean, when I had a motorcycle when I was younger, and when I bought my first motorcycle, I was like, oh man, I need to get a helmet, jacket, and stuff like that. Just be safe. And the guy that he was a really good salesman, but it really hit home what he said. And when I was buying my helmet, I'm like, oh well, you know, I don't know if I really need a $300 helmet. And so I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, this one for, you know, $120, that'd probably be all right. And he's like, do you want to spend, you know, really figuring out what that extra $100 or $200 is going to cost you if you go down. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, well, this is like the most important part of you going down on a bike or, an accident or something like that. Wouldn't you want the one that is better equipped to deal with the higher impact and it's lighter weight and all the other good things about it? I was like, yeah, I guess so. And I did that. So now it's like, in thinking about the life vest thing, it's the same scenario. It's like, I'm going to buy this thing. I'm going to use it for a while. And if it needs to save my life, that was money well spent. It's like what is it? They call it My Spot. It's the GPS thing. I had that when I fished offshore all the time. It's a satellite messenger, and you pay $99 a year for the service. It's like $160 for the actual unit, and you can message, like when we go out, you don't have cell phone service. Once you hit like 15 miles offshore, and we would go 80 to 100 miles offshore. And we're I'd have my wife and whoever else at home wondering, when we're coming home and, if everything's okay. And so I got that, and, we'd be on the way home, and I have a pre-recorded message that said, hey, I'm on my way home, just so that nobody had to worry. Or, I could set a ping up that it sent a message out every, hour or something to let everybody know I was okay or where I was, and it tracks all that. And so that was just, for $100 a year. I mean, you're going to put a price on, your life.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you see so many people spend so much more money. Like I would rather spend, $100 less on my fishing tackle this week and put it into my life jacket. And then I can spend $100, eventually more on fishing tackle, but you can't put a price tag on your life. So you might as well spend that money up front and that enables you to continue to keep fishing if something were to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.